What's up, party people? Welcome back to my channel. On this episode, I wanted to tell you guys the story about our house fire, which was actually 8 years ago today. So stay tuned and enjoy the episode. So I'm gonna take you guys into my shed. And I just recently organized it, isn't it pretty? But that's not why I'm here. I'm coming in here to pull out these two scrapbooks that were burned in the fire that I tried to, I guess, resurrect or refurbish, but they were too far gone. But I just don't have the heart to throw them away. So I kind of want to share them with you guys and show you. Okay, so most of you know, if you've been following me a long time, I'll actually put a link in the description. I'll actually put it up here somewhere. The link to the house fire video. It was one of the first videos I ever uploaded onto YouTube, and I kind of just didn't ever upload again. But it was a video about what happened to us, what happened to our family, and everything that came after that. So on May 16th, 2011, it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and my husband was screaming from downstairs, and me and my children were all upstairs. And he was screaming, "Fire, fire." And I ran and grabbed all of them, and I ran downstairs, and he grabbed my youngest one, Joe. Because Joe at the time was only one, almost one. I think Autumn was 4 and Andy was 5. So yeah, it was really scary. We saw the smoke because the smoke was coming from the kitchen. Luckily, this kitchen is in the back of the house. So we ran down the stairs as fast as we could, but the smoke was coming out so bad towards the front door. And we literally got out like in the nick of time, because right when we got out to the front area, at the front door, we couldn't go back and grab anything because the smoke was way too crazy coming through the gate. Obviously, we called 911 right away. We went over to my neighbor's house, Sue. We had the kind of toaster oven that if it was plugged in, it would randomly turn on if the door of the oven was closed, if that makes sense. So every single time it closed, it would turn on if it was plugged in. So if you didn't unplug it, it would still be on, if that makes sense. So somehow the door was closed and it was plugged in, and it started the cabinet on fire above it, and then the whole entire kitchen, and then the whole entire downstairs. The only thing that didn't get burned was the upstairs. The firefighters got there in time to extinguish the fire downstairs, but all the smoke damage was so severe upstairs and everywhere else in the house that we weren't allowed to take anything out of the house. So it was a total loss. We lost every single item in our house, which if you've ever gone through something like that, like a hurricane or a tornado or anything like that, you know how difficult it is. I still have moments to this day where I'm looking for something and I'm like, oh wait, yeah, that was lost in the fire. And it's still really hard. I mean, it's been 8 years and we've healed a lot from it, but we still have moments where we're like, oh, I wish I still had that. And I wanted to show you guys something that was so important to me that I lost in the fire, that the firefighters really tried to save for me, because I'm sure they knew it was something important to me. I used to do creative memories. I was a scrapbooking person. Like, it was my life. I used to sell creative memories. It was like my favorite hobby and pastime. And so all my kids had baby books, and I had just finished Joe's baby book because he was about to turn 1. His birthday is May 20th, and it happened on May 16th. So I had just finished it, and it was in the living room. So unfortunately, it completely burned up in the fire and was lost. And I think that was like the hardest thing. Still to this day, they're scrapbooks. It still bothers me. Even talking about it, I get emotional. So I have 2 of the books that I tried to recover, because like I said, the firefighters had put them on like the grass because they could tell that that was something important when they were trying to put out the fire. So they threw them on the grass for me, and they were burned and smoke damaged and wet and screwed up, but I pulled them all out and I tried to salvage them, and it was so upsetting. I remember so vividly. We had somebody offer us their trailer to live out of because our insurance didn't cover for us to live somewhere. We had nowhere to live. So we went to my mom's house, and we were living there like in the 1 bedroom, all of us. And one of the people at the school offered their trailer. So we had it in the driveway, and we lived out of the trailer for 8 months with all 3 little kids. Cause like I said, Joe was tiny. He was 1 year old at the time. Autumn was like 4 years old, but developmentally more like 1 year old. and her behaviors were terrible. It was such a hard time. But imagine, we have a trailer we're living out of. I'm working full time. My husband's working full time. And we're both just trying to get by day, like as they're rebuilding our condo. And we had so many issues with our association and the association's insurance and our insurance, and so much stuff wasn't covered, and it was such a nightmare. And on top of all of that, when they were taking everything out of our house, I think they filled up about 4 huge dumpsters, but it was so incredibly toxic inside that they filled it with like plastic lining. And it was seriously something out of like E.T. You know that scene in E.T. when they're like putting all this plastic up, like quarantine, I guess? It was seriously so hard. And just seeing all of our stuff wrapped up in plastic and thrown into dumpsters like it meant nothing, I think that was just beyond hard, beyond difficult. And I mean, it's like your whole life, all the things you've ever had. And I think it really gave me perspective on what's important, and stuff is not important to me anymore. It never really was that important to me, but now it's even less important. My family is the most important thing. You know, I'd rather spend time with my family and go places with my family than have a bunch of stuff in my house. It doesn't matter to me anymore. So I'd say that's like the number one thing I learned after the fire. But definitely that was an extremely difficult time when everything was covered with plastic and they filled up the dumpsters and just hauled away all of our stuff. And I have pictures that I want to share with you guys. I'm hoping to get them off of my old iPhone. Thank God for my old iPhone, because if I didn't have my old iPhone, I wouldn't have been able to get pictures to show insurance company. I wouldn't be able to take video and do all the stuff that I did. And I wish I knew how to work it better, because at the time I didn't know what I was doing, and I could have totally taken better footage of how bad it was. I mean, I remember there's a picture of the floor of the living room, and it was so covered with soot and water, and it was almost like a mud, like a mucky black mud. And in that picture, there was like a plastic Woody doll, like in the soot. And I got a picture of it because it was just like, yeah, kids used to live here, and this was our family home, and like it was our first home. We closed escrow on 9/9/09. I remember very vividly. That was our first home we ever bought together. So it was extremely difficult. And I wanted to show you. This was Andy's baby book, and I tried so hard to save it. I just put it into another scrapbook. And if I would have taken it to like a restoration place, I kind of regret not doing that. They might have been able to salvage it, but as you guys can see, I mean, looking at this is extremely difficult because I put so much hard work into this. I just don't have the heart to throw it away. Those are my ultrasound pictures from when I was pregnant with Andy. These are when I was pregnant. Oh my God, it was so long ago, almost 14 years ago. I mean, you can kind of still make out the pictures. Like that was me holding my belly when I was pregnant. It looks so big. And like, this is when he was born. And some of this stuff, I know I can go back and get. Like I heard that you can go and get from the hospital like bracelets made that look like, cause like I lost all that stuff. I lost their bracelets from the hospital. I lost their ultrasound pictures. I lost all that stuff. So this was actually his baby bracelet. But like I said, the firefighters tried so hard to save this for me, but it was like beyond kind of repair. I don't know if I will get to a point where I will get rid of this. Like I said, it's been 8 years and I still just don't have the heart to get rid of it because of all the hard work I put into it. And if you're a scrapbooker, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'll show you guys a little bit of Autumn's too. These are like his birth announcements. Oh, his first Halloween, his first bath, or this is not his first bath, this is when he's 4 months old, but this was when he was Mickey Mouse for Halloween. And I would write little things in there. So, I mean, I could still look at it. So I guess that's something. His first pumpkin patch. I dressed up like Cinderella and he was Mickey Mouse. and we carved pumpkins. I've carved pumpkins. Autumn's I didn't ever get a chance to even get it in the book, but as you guys can see, the edges are completely burned. And if I could like describe to you guys the smell, you would be like, oh my God, why are you even looking at it? And that's the one thing that I think is still traumatic and traumatizing, is if you've been in a house fire or you've been near a fire, the smell is so intoxicatingly horrible. Oh, look. And oh God, I can still smell it when I close my eyes. And even though I have this in here, obviously I can smell it more now, but the smell is just, oh, awful. Autumn's actually isn't as bad as Andy's was. There are some of these pictures that are still kind of, you can see what they were, but a lot of them are stuck together. And that's what I was trying to fix with the other one, is I was trying to pull them apart. See, as you guys can see, they're like melted together. So in Andy's, this is her birth baby shower announcement. They're all stuck together, so I can't really pull them apart and show you, but that was her feet prints, this is her in the hospital. A lot of people asked me too if I knew that Autumn was gonna have Down syndrome, and I didn't know. We didn't know until she was born. And we technically didn't know until like 5 days after her birthday because they did the blood test. But all these are all screwed up. Like I should take this to a restoration place and see if they can like fix it, any of it, because I'd love to have these pictures. I'd love to have some of these pictures for first Valentine's Day. Look how little Andy is. Oh my God. Like she used to put everything in her mouth. And she didn't smile for such a long time. So this is Easter. That was technically her very first smile. I remember that. This is when she was doing physical therapy. This is the bath. She hated the bath when she was a baby. Oh, this is when we got her ears pierced. Oh my gosh. She like, oh my gosh, she's the cutest when she was a baby. Look at how little she is. Oh, I miss her baby. But like I said, this was a lot of work. She used to lay with her legs like completely spread apart. Look how little they are. But this is her first trip to San Diego. My sister used to live in San Diego, so we figure it all the time. This was her first pumpkin patch, and that's when she was really smiling good. She's so cute. And that's her cousin. Her cousin is like only a week difference in age. Oh my God. Well, you guys get the idea. I just kind of wanted to show you it. That was when she was in the walker. Let's see the bottom of this because it's kind of like how much ash there was all over the ground. That's all ash. That's dried to the scrapbook. Isn't that crazy? It's like cement almost. But yeah, it's all ash. And isn't that crazy, Joe?
What the?
And all of the edges were burned. It's crazy.
Whoa.
Isn't that crazy?
I know.
Yeah.
Look.
Autumn's book is actually less ruined than Andy's. Okay, so I found my old iPhone, my old 8GB? So my husband has a charger at his work and he's gonna bring it home and I'm gonna charge it and try to get the pictures off of it. And I'm gonna do a part 2 to this video because I already feel like this video is too long because there's so much information to share. One thing that I didn't mention in the very beginning of the video is we did not have smoke detectors up in our house because we were working on our house at the time before the fire. We were actually working on painting. We were working on redoing our kitchen. So all the smoke detectors were taken down. So that's why we didn't have smoke detectors that would alert us sooner when there was smoke, like in the house. So I know I get that question a lot on my previous video. So I wanted to clear that up and make sure you guys knew. So stay tuned for a part 2 on this video where I show you all the pictures that are in this phone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have healed so much since the fire and I cannot believe it's 8 years ago. It's like mind-blowing. I'm so thankful for all the firefighters out there doing your job. That is seriously the one thing I've learned from this too, is I appreciate the people that work so hard every single day to save lives and to save people's houses and to save people just in general. So thank you so much to all the firefighters out there. You guys are so freaking awesome. Anyways, lots more videos to come. And like I said, a part 2 coming soon. So stay tuned. If you like this episode, make sure you hit the like button. Also subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications.